In the dazzling world of high fashion, every collection tells a story, one woven from the threads of cultural zeitgeist, artistic inspiration, and commercial ambition. This season, Saint Laurent's Spring 2025 show, helmed by creative director Anthony Vaccarello, took a bold turn. Gone were the sheer, barely there designs of the previous season that ignited a firestorm of criticism for being disconnected from reality and overly voyeuristic. In their place was a collection steeped in tailoring, texture, and a nuanced interplay between masculinity and femininity, perhaps Vaccarello's answer to the outcry. The runway opened with a clear nod to Yves Saint Laurent's iconic Le Smoking tuxedo, a silhouette that has long defined the Maison. But this wasn't just a rehash of a classic, it was a reinvention. Broad-shouldered, double-breasted suits with exaggerated proportions took center stage, immediately recalling the striking tailoring of Vaccarello's menswear show from the previous season. These pieces seemed to bridge a conceptual gap between Saint Laurent's past and present, paying homage to Yves's groundbreaking vision of gender-fluid fashion while offering a fresh, modern take. The suits, while striking on their own, were layered with oversized outerwear that added depth and intrigue. Trench coats draped dramatically over sharply tailored jackets, while military-inspired leather coats and silk bombers introduced a juxtaposition of textures. The effect was both theatrical and wearable, a rare balance in the world of haute couture. Vaccarello's skillful layering created a sense of high-low fashion that felt as though it were designed for a woman who navigates multiple worlds, corporate by day, avant-garde by night. Accessories played a key role in defining this phase of the collection. Chunky jewelry, bold necklaces, and oversized statement spectacles added a sense of playful sophistication. These finishing touches elevated the masculine tailoring, making it clear that this was a collection designed not to diminish femininity, but to empower it through contrasts. As the show progressed, Vaccarello's narrative shifted. Out came floor-length tiered skirts, paisley-printed tunic tops, and chunky necklaces that seemed almost nomadic in their aesthetic. It was a surprising departure from the rigidity of the opening looks, offering a softer, bohemian side to the collection. While these designs still carried an air of luxury, they felt more relaxed, almost as if Vaccarello were inviting his audience to explore a different facet of the Saint Laurent woman. The choice to incorporate boho elements, a style not typically associated with Vaccarello, was both daring and divisive. On one hand, it showcased his versatility as a designer, proving that he is not confined to the sharp lines and structured silhouettes that have become his trademark. On the other hand, this section of the collection felt slightly out of place, as if it belonged to another story altogether. The final act of the show veered into vintage territory, presenting a series of looks that drew from decades past, but with Vaccarello's unmistakable sensual edge. Jewel-toned fabrics dominated this segment, creating a sense of opulence and drama. Jackets in quilted metallic florals, lacy pussy bow blouses, and ruffled necklines hinted at a bygone era, yet their execution felt modern in their craftsmanship. Despite their beauty, these pieces sparked a subtle critique. Were they too steeped in nostalgia? Some might argue that these designs bordered on old lady-esque, a term that could undermine their intricate detailing and artistry. But perhaps that was the point. In fashion, as in art, the line between homage and parody is often thin, and Vaccarello walked it with confidence. Looking at the collection as a whole, one might wonder about Vaccarello's thought process. Was this shift toward masculine tailoring and nostalgic design a calculated response to last season's backlash? Or was it part of a broader vision that has been quietly unfolding all along? The juxtaposition of the sharply tailored suits with the boho chic pieces and vintage-inspired looks created a sense of dissonance, as if the collection were telling multiple stories at once. Yet, within this complexity lies its brilliance. Vaccarello's ability to pivot and adapt demonstrates a willingness to listen and evolve, qualities that are increasingly rare in an industry often defined by ego and stubbornness. The tailoring, in particular, felt like a direct answer to the criticisms leveled at him last season, proving that he can create designs that are not only beautiful, but also empowering and relevant. While the collection garnered praise for its craftsmanship and vision, it also reignited an ongoing debate about the role of luxury fashion in today's world. Vaccarello's focus on timeless tailoring and nostalgia, though stunning, left some critics questioning whether the brand is truly engaging with the present. Yves Saint Laurent's revolutionary designs in the 1960s and 1970s broke boundaries and challenged norms. In contrast, Vaccarello's work, though consistent with the brand's heritage, often feels more like a celebration of the past than a bold step into the future. However, it's worth noting that the collection's gender-neutral approach to tailoring is, in its own way, progressive. By extending the menswear-inspired suiting into his women's designs, Vaccarello blurs the lines between traditional gender roles, aligning with a growing movement toward inclusivity in fashion. This aspect of the collection is perhaps its most forward-thinking element, even if it isn't entirely new. After all, Yves was doing much the same thing 6 decades ago. Anthony Vaccarello's Spring 2025 collection for Saint Laurent is a study in contrasts. It is at once a tribute to the brand's storied past and a reflection of its current creative direction. The tailoring is impeccable, the accessories are bold, and the layering is masterful. Yet the collection also raises questions about its relevance and resonance with real women in today's world. Ultimately, Vaccarello succeeds in delivering a show that is both thought-provoking and visually stunning. Whether or not it represents a step forward for Saint Laurent, it is undeniably a testament to Vaccarello's skill and vision as a designer. For now, the world of Saint Laurent remains a place of fantasy and glamour, one that exists slightly apart from the realities of everyday life. But perhaps that is precisely what makes it so alluring.